Morning. How are you feeling this beautiful day? Unaendeleaje? Umeamkaje? Today is a very, very beautiful day. Good to have you here. Welcome to Woman Crush Wednesday Rise today. I am your host, Gikunda, and this is where we give you a lot of entertainment, education. We give you a little bit of everything right here at Rise today. Glad to have you here. Unafilaje? Umeamkaje? How has your week been this far? Mine has been okay. I cannot really complain. The weather is doing the thing. We are not sure whether it's hot or it's cold. But anyway, we're grateful for the rains. I mean, at least we'll now have milk. Things will stop being expensive. Nyanya ni 20 bob. How even? At least things will get better in terms of food. How are you? Unaendeleaje? Talk to me on our social media platforms at KUTV Kenya on Twitter, KUTV Kenya on Instagram, and at KUTV Kenya on Facebook. Today, we have a lot lined up for you. Last week, if you tuned in, we got to talk about stereotypes. And in through the conversation, at some point, we looked at menstruation. Why is menstruation a conversation that is not had so openly? Why don't we talk about menstruation and the hygienic lifestyle behind it so openly? Why do we feel ewish when we're talking about menstruation in front of our men, in front of the male figures? Today we talk about menstruation and hygiene and the hygienic line behind it. We get to look at how to take care of yourself as a woman during that time of the month. We get to look at how to take care of yourself, the things to do and not to do, and each and every little thing in regards to menstruation. And our guest today also has an amazing project by the name Superb. She does some superb things in regards to menstruation in Kibera. She will be here with us to tell us a story. And we also have an amazing guest. She's called Madi. She is an artist. She'll be coming to tell us about her journey in the music industry. So stay tuned. And if you have anything you'd like us to discuss in regards to menstruation and the hygienic process in menstruation, please once again talk to us. Our social media platforms are at KUTV Kenya on Twitter, KUTV Kenya on Facebook, and at KUTV Kenya on Instagram. Right about now, I'll be coming back with traffic updates. Welcome back. Our traffic updates are gotten from @Mathriroute on Twitter. So if you have anything within your vicinity or on the roads where you are right now, make sure to tag @Mathriroute in any information you'd like the public to have. And also tag at KUTV Kenya, that is on Twitter, so we can be able to share the information with us and whomever else that may need that kind of information. As at 7:17 a.m., Langata Road jam starts from Ulinzi Sports. So if you are on Langata Road, be sure to get some traffic on your way to town. Kangemi along Wayaki Way, and drive to Kangemi along Wayaki Way and take the U-turn after the stage. Enter left exit. It's a dirt road, leads to Kaptagat Road. I think this is a new direction, escaping traffic on Wayaki Way. The Nairobi-bound train from Ruru is currently snaking its way towards Mtindwa. At the time I asked you your experiences with this train, and you never told me what your experience is like. Personally, I'd like to try the train one time from home to Nairobi, and I'll definitely give you my feedback on how it was. Heavy traffic Outer Ring Road from Feather towards Taj Mall, so plan accordingly. So if you're leaving and you're approaching Outer Ring Road, there is traffic towards from Feather towards Taj Mall. I think that's it for our traffic updates. But if you have more, please let us know. Also, I am very curious. Are people really using the new expressway? Are they really using it? And if they are, please let us know how to get about it, how to go about it, and what your thoughts are about the expressway, how you feel about it, especially the fact that you have to apply and go through a long process, charges and all that. Talk to us on all our social media platforms at KUTV Kenya Twitter, KUTV Kenya Facebook, and at KUTV Kenya Instagram. We'll be coming back with the news updates. And on our news updates for today, Interior Cabinet Secretary Dr. Fred Matiang'i opened the signing of the late former President Mwai Kibaki's condolence book at Harambee House, Nairobi, for those wishing to pay their respects to the former president who passed on Friday 22nd this month.
Following the passing of the retired President of Kenya, Honorable Mwai Kibaki, on 22nd April 2022 at a hospital in Nairobi, Interior Cabinet Secretary Dr. Fred Matiang'i on Tuesday launched the official signing of condolence book of the late former president. According to Matiang'i, the condolence books will at the same time be unveiled at Kibaki's office, Parliament buildings, Supreme Court of Kenya, and all ministry offices, as well as the Council of Governors headquarters, all regional and county commissioners' offices across the country, and in Kenyan high commissions, embassies and missions abroad. Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of ICT, Innovation and Youth Affairs, Joe Musheru, are among the leaders who have signed the late ex-president's condolence book today at the Ministry of Headquarters Press Center in Teleposta Towers. Health Cabinet Secretary Mutahi Kagwe also led health workers in signing the condolence book, highlighting his great input in the development of the health sector.
When I speak on behalf of the Ministry of Health, I speak also for the many doctors and nurses and health workers who are out there who worked with him. Some of them retired, but I'm sure they all remember him fondly. They remember him fondly for the things that he has done. Not just generally in the other ministries, but in this particular day, the reason why we called everybody here is also to remember what he did for the health state of our nation.
Kicking off the signing exercise outside his office in Embu, Eastern Regional Commissioner Evans Achoki remembered the late president as the one who visualized the Vision 2030 development blueprint that has set the country's journey to prosperity.
It is during his tenure that we started the CDF, and the CDF has enabled this country to build offices for national government administration officers, police stations, hospitals, primary schools, roads, and many other transformative developmental activities.
The National State Funeral Committee, chaired by Matiang'i, is expected to give an update on the preparation for the state funeral scheduled for Saturday. Anodida, KUTV, Nairobi.
We give our condolences to the family of the former president. He definitely was a big change to our country, and he'll truly be missed. And on to our next story. With the body of the former president Mwai Kibaki lying in state at Parliament for the third day, Kenyans from all over the country queued to pay their final respect. Kenyans sorrowfully mourn Kibaki as a statesman who steered the country economically to the right direction.
A disconsolate mood engulfed Nairobi City today as hundreds of Kenyans patiently waited on the long queues to bid farewell to the fallen statesman President Mwai Kibaki. The citizens from all parts of the country regretted the fall of President Mwai Kibaki, recounting the good deeds that precedented his tenure.
Today I would wish to remember His Excellency President Mwai Kibaki as a perspicacious individual, as a persona who was fearless yet so humble, and a person whose contributions to the economic developments of this country are going to transcend him.
Maendeleo ambayo tumeona leo in terms of infrastructure, in terms of education and on any other financial issues ni kwa sababu ya Vision 2030 ambayo ilianza na Mheshimiwa Mwai Kibaki.
Mimi nalia sahi. Kibaki is the father of this country. Alikuja kutuonyesha vitu ile ilikuwa imefichwa na serikali ile ya kwanza. Kama hiyo fasari tungeona, kama sio Kibaki tungeona, kama hii pesa ya wase tungeona, ya widows, iko pesa ya widows, ngawa ichapikia widows, tungeona.
Ahead of the August polls, the Kenyans eyed the political aspirants to embrace the leadership of President Kibaki to make Kenya a better place in the next government.
Kwa hivyo jambo hilo na lingine unaona alisema watoto watasoma bure, sio na alitimiza. Kwa hivyo ndio naomba wale watakalia viti wakumbuke hiyo kazi ili taifa yetu liendelee.
I think what we need to ask the politicians is to be tolerant of each other. We may disagree on matters of political stance, but we should not personalize attacks on each other, because when leaders personalize attacks on each other, you make your fans and your support base personalize attacks on each other as well, and that can burn the country.
According to the protocol set by the State Funeral Committee, Kenyans have a final chance tomorrow to pay final respect to President Mwai Kibaki ahead of the Friday funeral burial on Saturday in Othaya, Nyeri County. And a sober mood engulfed the city as Kenyans from all walks of life braced the long queues, at least to get a chance to pay a last respect to the former president Mwai Kibaki. Omondi Otieno, KUTV, from the Parliament buildings in Nairobi.
The Senate yesterday joined the whole nation in paying tribute to the late former President Emilio Mwai Kibaki, who passed on last Friday. In their speeches, members of the Senate hailed the fallen president as one who left behind an unbreakable legacy, as Daphne Orina now reports.
The mood in the Senate today was a somber one, and it only spelled one thing.
It is indeed a moment, a somber moment for us all, especially, Mr. Speaker, for those of us who worked with and personally knew the President. And I'd like to acknowledge, as I've said elsewhere, Mr. Speaker, that I found him to be the best boss.
The pinch of the demise of His Excellency, the late Honorable Mwai Kibaki, had been felt. The members of the Senate termed him as a zealous leader and an accomplished economist who was dedicated to transforming the economy of the country through massive infrastructural development and job creation.
Some of the emblematic developments were the construction of the 44.5-kilometer Thika superhighway that links Nairobi to Thika, the expansion of Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, and the rehabilitation of the Nairobi-Nakuru-Eldoret-Malaba highway.
They hailed him as one who promoted gender equality through women empowerment, especially in promoting their participation in leadership, and one who upscaled education for primary school pupils during his tenure.
The late former president, in the quest to advance universal primary education, introduced a free primary school education, a move which was applauded worldwide, including by the United Nations. Millions of children have been beneficiaries of this program. The program is viewed as a step towards achieving universal basic education and as a contributor to economic growth and poverty reduction.
It was like it was something unattainable, but he did it. And he did it in such a way that for the first time, Kenyans realized that actually even at the primary school level, government could be involved in building infrastructure for schools. I think a lot of schools over his retirement period began to see changes.
The late President Mwai Kibaki will be prominently remembered for his efforts at governance and institutional reforms throughout his public service career, which culminated in the promulgation of the 2010 Constitution that ushered in a new governance paradigm. May his soul rest in eternal peace. Daphne Orina for KUTV.
The late Stanley Emilio Mwai Kibaki has been termed as one among the key leaders in the rejuvenation of the Kenyan economy. And as they took a final close glance of the late leader, Kenyans have pointed out the need for the emulation of his strategies by leaders, particularly the incoming regime, to ensure an upward trajectory in the country's economy.
Talk on the economy state in recent days has been characterized by complaints by a great section of Kenyans due to an upsurge in the consumer price index.
Kenyans are experiencing the real inflation because of the cost of living.
Sai uchumi ya Kenya is very high. The poor Kenyans hawezi kuafford kula. Wengi wanalala njaa.
And at the Parliament buildings, many who flocked to bid goodbye to the late Stanley Emilio Mwai Kibaki praised his prowess in steering the national economy to commendable heights under his rule.
I actually recognized his efforts and efficiency in development when he initiated some of these programs very fast after his swearing in.
Kusema ya kwamba wakati Kibaki alikuwa katika serikali, Wakenya tulikuwa katika hali mzuri, maana alitengeneza uchumi, hata wale watu wa chini waliweza kuwa na maisha bora na hata waliweza kuafford hata essential commodity.
Kabla ya kujenga mabarabara, alitambua ya kwamba kuna kujenga mwananchi. I'll balance the two.
Issues were raised concerning the current state of the economy, with leaders urged to take notes from Kibaki and ensure a relief from the economic woes.
Kwa hivyo it is my prayer that the government that is coming, it is going to take care of the needy, it is going to go direct down to the common mwananchi, and they are going to serve us well with the fear of God. And
ndio namwambia hawa viongozi yetu, sasa ile tumechakua, hakuwe watu wako na roho ya kupenda wananchi.
Nataka kuomba ile serikali ambayo inakuja na ambayo imetambua mwananchi wa chini, imesikia ile sauti ya mwananchi wa chini.
You come here, restore our economy.
A steady incline in essential daily use commodities only rose further by the escalation in the prices of fuel, which has also recorded a shortage in recent days.
Legacy ya Kibaki bila alihurumia Wakenya. Wakenya walikuwa sahi unga imepanda. Kibaki aliwaja unga na shilingi 100. Sahi ni 200 unga tu.
Pia maisha ya saizi na ya wakati ule ni tofauti kidogo. So Uhuru pia mimi nampongeza na ile roho yenye anajaribu kuongoza Kenya nayo. Mungu aendelee kumbariki.
The inflation is real, as I've said, something that government should work towards.
After seizing power in 2002, the economy recorded a growth of 0.6% in Kibaki's first term in power, a 3% boost in 2003, 5.8% in 2005, 6% in 2006, and 7% at the end of his term in 2007. The high cost of living, leaving many to anchor back to the regime of the late Stanley Emilio Mwai Kibaki, with the hope that better days lie ahead with the incoming regime after the August 9th polls. Emmanuel Kutosi, KUTV.
Thank you, Emmanuel, for that story. Earlier yesterday, we joined the rest of Kenyans who traveled from all walks of life to come and bid farewell to the third president of the Republic of Kenya, Mwai Kibaki, at the Parliament buildings. Here is what they had to say about President Kibaki.
I've come to condole here with the former His Excellency the President, Mwai Kibaki, a man that I loved and adored, a man who was a true statesman. Kibaki, I think I'll remember him as a man who started a new paradigm in our country as far as fighting corruption is concerned. He was allergic to corruption. He was calm, never involved himself with the mundane things like our normal politicians do today. He did not answer to every barking dog, as they say. They say if you respond to every barking dog, you may not get to your destination. And so that's what I see in him. He never really responded to everyone who was barking. He concentrated on his job and did it, and put this country from negative to positive as far as the economy is concerned. We were on a negative when he became president.
What I remember Honorable Kibaki with His Excellency is the calmness in the storm. The tolerance levels are very high. He would be pushed to the wall, but he would keep the main thing. So he wasn't drawn into unnecessary fights. He was a man of great insight, foresight, focus, and he thought about generations ahead of him. He wasn't a selfish leader.
His Excellency Emilio Mwai Kibaki. Huyu ni kiongozi ambaye aliweza kujua maisha ya Wakenya na akakuwa mwenye anasema machache na anafanya mengi. Mambo ya free education, alisema free education na ikakuwa free indeed. Si kama venye tuliambiwa kuna laptop za watoto, kuna nini, mambo yote hayakuweza fanyika. Lakini la muhimu ni kusema napitisha rambirambi kwa familia ya mzee. Vijana wake wakuwe na nguvu, wajitie pia waingie kwa uongozi kama kweli wana maadili ya mzee, wakuja waokoe Kenya.
Rais Kibaki wakati alikuwa hatamu ya uongozi alipikana na mambo makubwa katika nchi hii. Yeye alipigania mambo ya amani katika bonde la Kerio, na tukapata amani mwaka 12 wakati yeye alipochukua hatamu ya uongozi. Alipigania amani na Lina Chabiki Limo, yule alikuwa mchumbe wetu wa Marakwet East constituency.
Huyu mzee hakunisaidia mimi, lakini alisaidia taifa, kwa sababu unajua wakati ule alikuwa hajakalia kiti, kulikuwa ni shida sana Mwafrika kununua kipikipi, na ameleta zimejaa taifa yote. Hii ni kitu haiwezi kufishika, unaona, ni kitu haiwezi kufishika. Lakini iko kitu kimoja nimesema hapo karibu na hiyo mwili yake, nimeomba hivi, amani ili alikuwa naye, bidii ili alikuwa naye, Mungu aweze kugaia watoto wetu ili Kenya hii tuwe na amani na tuwe na tunapendana.
Alikuwa rais wa maendeleo, aliguswa sana, maisha yake aliguswa sana na shida za wananchi. Ninakumbuka mwaka wa 2007 alitembea katika constituency yetu ya Kilome katika soko ambayo inaitwa ya Kio. Akakuta mahali ambapo tumekaa miaka yote bila maji. Akakuja akatuanzishia maji. Na vile vile alikuwa hataki kuona watu ambao wanakaa bure. Akatuambia maji ifanye kazi, tukapate kujisaidia na tukapate kuendelea mbele.
Mkumbuka kwa sababu ya watoto wale hakuwa anaingia shule. Watoto wangu na watoto wangu wasusu wangu hakuwa anaingia shule, pesa inakosekana. Akaingia shule wakati alisema shule watoto watalipa tena. Mambo ingine akatengeneza jera. Jera ilikuwa mbaya sana. Jera ilikuwa mbaya sana wakati ya Moi. Akatengeneza jera ikakaa msuri. Unaona hata ukiona hao wanakaa msuri si kama samani.
Na alikuwa akitoka kwa ndege alikuwa ananiita Jeni wa Jiro Irungu. Kwa hivyo inasikia kutitikika kwa sababu anatuasa. Na ile kitendo anafanya hata kwa Mungu aende afanye kama hiyo alikuwa anafanya hapa duniani ya Kenya. Inamuombea akae mahali mzuri, na mimi nalia na siri kwa sababu inaokoka.
Interior Cabinet Secretary Dr. Fred Matiang'i has declared Tuesday, May 3rd, a public holiday to celebrate Eid-ul-Fitr for Muslim brothers and sisters. In a Gazette notice on Tuesday, Matiang'i declared May 3rd a public holiday in exercise of the powers conferred by Section 2(1) of the Public Holidays Act. Eid-ul-Fitr signifies the end of the holy month of Ramadan. The festival of fast breaking is an important religious ceremony celebrated by Muslims worldwide that marks the end of Ramadan, the Islamic holy month of fasting. On to our next story, Kenya and Cuba have launched a joint effort aimed at eradicating malaria in a bid to reduce high incidence of the disease within the Lake Victoria region. Siaya County Commissioner Jim Njoka highlighted this during the Malaria Day celebrations. Caroline Kimwele with more.
According to research by Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, in Kenya, there are an estimated 3.5 million new clinical cases and 10,700 deaths each year caused by malaria, and those living in Western Kenya region have an especially high risk of malaria. Kenya and Cuba have teamed up in an effort to combat malaria in the Lake Victoria region to reduce high cases of the disease in the region. In a speech read on behalf of Siaya County Commissioner Jim Njoka by Bondo Deputy County Commissioner Richard Karani during this year's World Malaria Day celebrations, he said that the program will target destruction of mosquito larvae within the breeding areas.
Indeed, Siaya is among the highest contributors to malaria disease burden in Kenya. Malaria incidence in Siaya County has been stable throughout the past 5 years, ranging between 586 cases per 1,000 population in 2016 and 508 cases per 1,000 population in 2021. This is an indication that the county is still malaria endemic.
The program is set to be launched next month in the county, Siaya residents being urged to support the initiative so as to reduce malaria prevalence in the county that stands at 29% against the national average of 6%.
The other intervention that we are doing, recently you must have heard that there was a malaria vaccine that is being administered to children in the Lake Endemic region. Actually, it is in selected sub-counties in those regions. For Siaya County, we are doing this in Rarieda, Game, and Ugenya sub-county.
According to WACLA, the prevalence rates were high in Alego, Usonga, Rarieda, and Game constituencies. Stable malaria occurs in most parts of Coast, Nyanza, and Western provinces. Transmission is high in these areas with an average of 1 infective bite per person per week throughout the year. Unstable malaria, on the other hand, occurs in areas of low transmission such as Machakos, Embu, and Kitui of Eastern Province, and Marigat and Ngurumani of Rift Valley Province. Caroline Kimwele for KU TV.
The government has begun training a new cohort of workplace mental health champions to help colleagues cope with mental health challenges through the Ministry of Public Service, Gender, Senior Citizens Affairs, and Special Programs. The purpose of the program is to raise awareness of mental health issues in the workplaces.
Demographic changes have been linked to an increase in mental health conditions around the world. The government has begun training a new cohort of workplace mental health champions to help their colleagues cope with mental health related challenges.
I am sure you are aware of many officers who are not productive. Many probably in alcoholism and drugs, another who just disappears from the office and never appears. A woman who is always quiet, who never speaks to anybody, then one day you just hear she went to her shags and never came back. It's not something to stigmatize, and it's not something to be embarrassed about.
While officially opening the training at the Kenya School of Government, Ms. Raquel Shabesh, Minister of Public Service, Gender, Senior Citizen Affairs, Special Program CAS, stated that the champion's role is to raise awareness of mental health issues in their workplaces, counsel those in need, and refer those who may require further treatment to the appropriate institutions.
Our biggest challenge ya kwanza ni kudeal na hii stigma. Also in the government na pia within the society. Alafu sasa hiyo ingine ni kupatiwa resources ambayo inaweza wekwa katika hii mikakati ya kupangia mambo ya madaktari, mambo ya awareness creation.
We want to see a lot of professionalism before we can get into punitive
especially on matters of staff who have issues of staff wellness. We want to see a lot of professionalism. We want to see a lot of a structured and formalized way of dealing with matters of mental wellness.
This follows just recently when Inspector General of the National Police Service, Hilary Mutyambai, announced that nearly 2,000 officials are not mentally fit serving the country, being basis of personal and social conflict.
We have subjected all the officers once again. And to our surprise, we have got a big number, almost to 2,000 officers who are unfit to do the police work. I have now
President Uhuru Kenyatta approved the program following event in which certain officers, noticeably those in the Ministry of Interior, resorted to extreme methods when they had conflicts with their co-workers and family members. Snyder Chege, KUTV.
That marks the end of our news for today, and I'd like to applaud the government for wanting to consider the mental health of all their workers and employees and each and everyone who's in the civil service. That's quite a remarkable move right there. I'd like to read some feedback. Wabero Kennedy, good morning. Nina, Woman Crush Wednesday to you. Woman Crush Wednesday to you too. Good morning. Karen Blessing, good morning. Nina, I am tuned. Hadi Tamati, thank you so much for joining us. Karen is our host. She hosts Arts and Culture Mondays here on Rise Today. Sarah Nganga, good morning. Good morning, Sarah. Thank you for joining us. Mtoto wa Mariam, the year was 2003. My dream of going back to school was realized. Thank you, Kibaki. I performed for Kibaki in 2012 at Kasarani before retiring. Vile nimefurahi mtu anaweza dhani nalipwa. Nililipwa juu ya hiyo poem. That was really nice. Congratulations. Does Usani still pay? Watu ni kama walipwa jana. I am not sure. We will keep you posted. That's your feedback. Keep sending in your feedback, and thank you so much for joining us and for tuning in this morning. Like I said earlier, today we get to talk about menstrual health. We get to talk about anything and everything menstrual hygiene. So keep tuned in. Do not touch that dial. We will be coming back after a short break.
How did you develop this passion for photography?
I got an opportunity to work in a studio in Nairobi. It's called Mwangaza Studio. It's still there. We used to do printing photos. So I developed an interest because also I was inspired by other photographers who used to bring the work there.
If you could have the answer to one question, what will the question be?
No, so you ask me the question. Good thing about photography is a hands-on. It's a hands-on skills. If you are disciplined and you have consistency, photography is a very good business.
This company has two products that is ICT based, and we are going to learn what they do and how they solve a 21st century problem.
Now, Ngamia Africa was started in 2019. The company is an ICT company.
The driver app is used by organized or corporate transporters who have a fleet of vehicles.
The notion in the society is that a leader akiingia kwenye kiti
anakuwa kama mwingine.
Yeah. Mkubwa ni mkubwa ama Kennedy Wambua is different.
That's why I told you that Kathiani Central people will vote for a change. I've been there.
I cannot betray my own people.
What's this type of change that you want to bring to these people in Kathiani?
The people from Kathiani have suffered a lot from previous leaders who do not have them in mind.
Bila shaka, mbiu ya mgambo ikilia, kuna jambo. Na sasa, katika QTV Rise Today, makala ya TBT. Tunaongeza kuni, tunawasha moto. Tunaingia barabarani kuangalia hali ilivyo. Takwimu za corona na kupa. Habari zinazojiri na zinazokuhusu na kujuza na kukumbusha yaliyotendeka siku kama hii ndani ya historia. Kisha na kuletea wageni na wataalamu. Tudadavui, tufahamu na tuchukue nafasi yetu kama vijana katika uongozi, uchumi na masuala ya kisiasa nchini. Na joto likizidi, tunaingia uwanjani. Tunachambua spoti ya Kenya. Ni kila Alhamisi saa 1 hadi saa 4 asubuhi. Nami Vincent Maina almaarufu Ojwang mtoto wa Mariam, ndani ya QTV, a new experience.
Maelfu na maelfu ya wahamiaji wakiwa na watoto kutoka nchi za Amerika ya Kati wanaendelea kuwasili kwenye mpaka kati ya Marekani na Mexico.
But folks, I'm going. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Ni habari kutoka pembe zote duniani.
People pass vuguvugu. People pass ni idea.
Sazidi ananyonya, hanyonyi vizuri, anakuwa hayuko comfortable.
Jeshi la Jamhuri ya Kidemokrasia ya Kongo linapambana na waasi wa ADF.
Kwa sasa wanatoa wito kwa mashirika, makampuni na vile vituo vya uchukuzi.
Mambo mengi yatakwenda kama yalivyopangwa.
Hapa ni kuna mmoja wa viongozi wa chama cha wavuvi katika eneo hili.
Zaidi tunajaribu kuwapa chanjo ili ina boost ama inanyanyua kinga ya mwili, ndio inaenda kupelekea kupambana na virusi.
Ni Duniani Leo, Jumatatu mpaka Ijumaa, moja kwa moja kutoka VOA Swahili, Washington DC.
Hello everyone, this is the new chapter of Let's Be Fit. I'll be host DiCaplo. I'm here to give you various workouts. I'll be having different trainers. We'll have Zumba classes, we'll have aerobics classes, we'll have box exercise, we'll have kata box. Just the show comes every Thursday from 6:30 a.m. to 7 a.m. Keep it locked, make sure we keep fit, and that's it from me to you. Let's be fit.
Siku hiyo yenye furaha ajabu, machungu yote yatakwisha, mambo yote yatakuwa ni mapya. Tukutane paradiso, tukutane enzini mbinguni, baada ya dhiki za hapa ulimwenguni tukutane.
Safina inang'oa nanga sasa hivi. Hivi sasa ni saa 2 Ijumaa usiku badala ya saa 3 kamili juu ya alama, due to public demand. Ungana nami Albanas Mwania, nahodha wa Safina Show, nikutoe ng'ambo ya pili hadi ufuoni. Safina Show, sauti ya matumaini.
Natamani kufika pale, mji mzuri ajabu wapendeza, hakuna mfano wa mazuri yajayo, jitahidi ufike mbinguni juu.